My guest today grew up on a farm, built a career on that farm, and then made the decision to leave it all behind. Duane Barg retired from dairy farming, not to slow down, but to figure out who he is without it. This is his story on the OverArch podcast.
You are listening to OverArch.
So Duane,
Yeah.
thanks for having a chat with me today. It's always been nice to sort of chat with you at the squash court here and there. But this is interesting because I remember you had a sort of transition in your career recently, and you kind of mentioned it, and we're going to get into that today. And I was like, that's fascinating. And as I've been doing this show, you always think about all the people you've had conversations with, and you're just popped into my head a couple weeks ago. I was going, and I had to reach out to you immediately. I literally had the idea, and I WhatsApped you. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, that's great.
So what are you doing right now? What is your role?
So right now, kind of like in between things. So I'm in school. I'm going for my social work degree. So I'm in that process. I'm still actively farming, but it's different than it has looked in the past for me. It's a different type of farming.
Yeah.
And then I just got hired on about 4 months ago, as I don't even know what the title, supportive care worker, like at a group home for disabled adults.
Which is amazing. So we're going to set the stage here for whoever's listening. Okay. So but you retired from farming. So what are you doing in farming right now? Specifically dairy farming. So what is that job all about? And what does retirement even look like? We can sit in here for a while because I'm absolutely fascinated by this transition and what it was you retired from.
Yeah.
Semi-retired, I guess. We'll find out.
Retired is fine. Like I fought against the retired for a bit just because it retired. I would think of it as quitting, and it's not. Like it ran its course for me. Fair, and so then I was like, retirement is fine now. I'm okay with that. Yeah. So dairy farming, I grew up on I'm third generation dairy farmer at this place. And so I took over the family farm in 95. And then like the way my family did it was very much like my dad kind of set the precedent of like when he took over, he was the one running it. It's a family operation. Okay. But it's very much like you bought the farm. Like I actually physically bought the farm. Okay. Like it wasn't like handed down in generations. Like my family.
Interesting.
Yeah, my family. There are pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
Like, but my dad saw the value for himself that he wanted control of it and ownership of it, and he wanted the same for me.
Okay.
Like he saw it was healthy, in some ways healthier for development.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
And he was that was one thing he really was, like stayed with and like felt strongly about, just because like when I took over, he actually disappeared for 5 years.
Okay.
Like he was like, for the first little bit, he kept on pointing people, like people would come on the yard, like salesmen or field reps or whatever. They would come on the yard and they want to talk to him. And he would be like, no, this is who you're talking to. This is the decision maker. And then once there was like kind of a transition year, and then once that was over, then he didn't want to give any input, which was frustrating.
I think at first maybe,
because he had a lot of information,
knowledge,
right? But he was like, no, you figure it out. Try to like, and he would help a little bit, but usually he wanted that.
Well, I think from a father, he's probably thinking that transition, like if someone owns the farm, this is just obviously let me know if I'm hitting the mark here. But if you have like full ownership in it, you really own it, like it's yours. So you're going to put that sort of that blood equity or that sweat equity in it, because if it's yours to succeed or it's yours to fail, as opposed to these sort of safeties. So he's pretty much, I don't think it was a sink or swim situation, because were you working with the farm with him throughout before the transition, or was it like, hey, Duane, come here, here's the farm, see you later, here's the keys?
No, like I grew up doing it. So like I grew up farming. So when I was like, it seems weird, and now when we look at our kids, like at 19, like that's when I started running the farm.
Yeah. So you were 19 when you started running the farm.
And he was even younger. Like he actually bought the farm from my grandpa when he was 17.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
Like it's crazy. Like so it's a very, very unique career, I would say, in a lot of ways, because like in high school, like I wasn't decided I wanted to farm. I actually didn't want to farm till I was like 18.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, actually, I want to do this. Like I fought against it for a bit where I didn't want to do it.
That was your teen years, kind of?
Teen years,
yeah. We just had a conversation about teenagers, so it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, carry on.
Even at 19, like I didn't know really what I was stepping into. And yeah, so then when I was 20, I got married young. So we got married when I was 20. And it was kind of because my career path was kind of chosen at that point.
I was just gonna say, I think when you're at that age and you kind of see that future with farming, it's you have a career path. Like maybe some people in there going to school in your young 20s, like I have no idea what I'm gonna do. There's no way I can have a relationship now because I can't support myself. Yeah. So that probably does help you make that decision. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and like we were talking about. Like I have older kids, and I can see, like absolutely, they're not getting, like they have partners, long-term partners, but it's still like they're in flux, like they're in school and stuff, and like who knows, like all of a sudden one moves because of school, like it's hard. Yeah. Whereas I'm new, okay, I've already committed to 25 years. Yeah. Or at the point when I took over from my parents, it was a 20-year plan.
20-year plan. Yeah. And you had the house and everything all established on the farm as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's because if you're young and you're getting out there, you got your house expenses, this and that. So if that's already set, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like yeah. And so so farming itself, it just looked like it's changed now a little bit, but at that point, it's like the business is a very high asset, low cash flow business. So basically for the 28 years I did it, like honestly, zeros.
Wow.
You zero all the time.
Okay.
Farming's just about assets and the inflation.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay.
Yeah. You just it might be different in different places, but in the valley, for sure, like you're just trying to keep everything up to date. Yeah. And you keep the inflation takes care of your debt.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you constantly reinvesting? You have to.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like, and that was one of the things. Like when my dad, he thought no one was going to farm. Like I was like, no, I'm not going to farm. So he had actually he stopped reinvesting about 5 years before I took over. So there was a lot of initial input costs I had to do. Okay. And so like there's not a lot of money. Like it's a really weird.
It seems like you kind of, but you if you maintain and sustain, it's like, hey, you're not going to be like super rich, but you're also not going to be homeless. You're just sort of like, you'll just maintain, but you're going to be working for it the whole time. If you don't work, things will go wrong. Yeah. Can we, Duane, I want to go back to when you were do you remember your first sort of memories of working on the farm? Like obviously were they chores at first and then they became work, or what was that like for a young person doing that kind of labor? Or what were your first jobs you did maybe on the farm?
Well, like honestly, like even like I can say for my kids too, like so my kids growing up milked with me when they were on my back. Like
that's so cool.
Like my wife was nursing still when we had our first 4 kids. Like we had 6 kids, so up until I think it was our 4th kid, my wife was working part-time. So then I would have the kids in the barn milking with me. So I would have like either like they would just be in the parlor with me on a backpack. Sometimes I had one in the bouncer and I had one in the backpack, and I'd be milking. And like that's the way I grew up too. Okay. Like first jobs, I don't know. Like honestly, like as soon as you can do something, it's just like you do it, and it kind of like, especially when you're younger, it's like you can be given any job, and if it's phrased in like you're helping and or you're contributing, it's like, oh, I can do this, and you Like you see it modeled around you all the time because
Interesting. Okay.
on a farm, your work is where you live.
Yeah.
Like, and so like me growing up, like there was never a time I didn't see work happening around
So
me.
this is like the original work from home. Right now we all have these Zoom calls.
Yeah.
Farming was actually the first. Sorry, I just had. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. I just had an epiphany. Yeah, it's the original working from home situation.
Well, and
You're
the
right.
work from home is you don't close the office door.
No.
It'd be like if the kids were in your office while you were working. Like that's basically what it is. It's like I have so many memories of like just hanging around like my kids because I can remember that more. Like they're just on the yard when I'm doing things. Right. So then they're like, "Oh, could you grab this for me?" Yeah, and they can run and grab it.
They're just helping, little helpers running around.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, your first job wasn't working at Tim Hortons then?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's a shout out to Tim Hortons. Sponsorship. No, we don't need it. I'm just kidding.
I'll turn the cup. There we go.
Yeah, make sure we face that forward to the screen. There's Tim Hortons there. No, I just live a block away from it. So whoever watches this podcast sees that I have this always by my side. Good price too, by the way, with everything in the world right now. I'm like, it's nice to go up and go, that'll be $2, please. I go, really? Thank you. So I shout out to Tim Hortons. So when you were working, so you basically your first job is working on the farm. So when you're on the farm, what is take me to a typical day, what that was like, say, if you're working as, in your teen years.
So a lot of the times, like my dad, well, my parents in general, like very much had a healthy balance of work, in my opinion, work and then play.
Oh, good.
Yeah, which was really good for me.
I was going to ask you that question there, the balance. Yeah.
And I hesitated with the word balance because some people would be like 6 days of work, like long hours, and then 1 day of play is not a good balance. But
if you kind of love what you do, though, right, and the family's involved, I mean, there's open for debate. But go ahead.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. It's like farming life is very demanding, especially dairy, because it's like. You milk in the morning, you milk in the evening. So usually for me, what my growing up would be like, I would go to school. I didn't have to milk before school, which is nice that my parents, that was the line that they wanted.
So what time would that be at? Like 5 in the morning?
Yeah, depending. It moves around. Like, so it's roughly a 12-hour split, right? So you don't want to. Anyways, so
that makes sense. So you want to milk the cows. It's a 12-hour between. So that's how you milk. Because Duane, I know nothing. So please, if you think you already know this stuff, just dive deep. Like I said, I'm looking forward to this. So our cows, they're milked on the 12-hour sort of cycle.
So that's what it was growing up. And then when I took over, we went to 3 times a day. So
3 times a day. Yeah. Okay. I've seen when I'm driving by some of the dairy farms here locally. I mean, they've got those lights on at like 1 in the morning. Just
so that would be there's different reasons for that, but like generally speaking, 3 times a day is better for cows and for production.
Yeah, because they have to milk, don't they? It's
and it is really like way better 3 times a day.
Okay,
just so because like your average cow per day, like when I was doing it, my average would be like 80 pounds. So then you have some cows doing like that's per day. So you have some cows that like my best cows would be like maybe they topped out at 140 pounds a day. So if you're doing that, so if you put that like, so are you carrying 70 pounds around in your udder, or are you gonna carry like 50 pounds?
Yeah,
right. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's great.
So
you didn't have to milk in the morning, which is nice.
Yeah. So the weekends I would.
Okay.
Weekends I would. And it was just kind of like, for me, it was like school was a priority.
Yeah.
Which was good because that wasn't always the case for.
So when you're in school, were you thinking like, okay, I'm farming, yes, I'm working, but at school, I want to. Did you have ideas of what you maybe wanted to do and not farm? Like what you had sort of career-wise? Not really?
Yeah. So Chilliwack was different.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, it was very much an agricultural community. And it was very much expected if your family was farming, someone would be farming. And my brother was already opted out. Like, he's a little bit older. So he would have been already like, no, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
And then like this is the time, like, women weren't considered to be like the ones that take over the farming, which was, like, of course, backwards. But like, my sisters weren't even given an opportunity. And so then it would be like, it kind of fell on me, and it was just expected that I would probably do it. Plus, I liked it, and I was good at it. Like, my brother, like, probably struggled a little bit more with it. Like, and it does take a certain person to do it. And
Absolutely.
he was wired a little bit different and excelling in what he's doing. But so because I was good at it and I liked it.
So it sort of seemed like, okay, did you have a moment when, like, did you have a late night where you just sort of sat in your bedroom and thought, okay, I have to tell Dad I am taking it over? Do you remember that process or that transition or what that was like?
Yeah. The process was more like I had about a year. Like, my parents were also good at saying, hey, take some time away. So like, my faith community, the church I belonged to, like, there were some schools that we could go to. So I did that. I went to Colorado for 6 months, and then I had some really good experiences, like, and they were faith-based as well. But my older siblings went to like Belize, and they went to different places and did like work projects and stuff.
Right on.
So I ended up going to Brazil a couple times, and it was just really good to get out of North America.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
especially living in small, like, little Chilliwack at the time. And then, so really, just a side note, how many vaccinations did you have to get to go to Brazil?
I don't remember. There was a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Just checking here.
Yeah. And they weren't as, like, for some reason, they're way more uncomfortable back then. Like, I don't know, maybe the vaccines have gotten better now.
Or just the needles were, no one cared about your just take it.
No,
and
it
just
was like
stick
drop the pants and.
Oh my goodness.
Go. Yeah.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
sorry.
Yeah. So like, I had a little bit of experience with that beforehand. Like, when I was younger in grade 6, my parents, they had family in Peru.
Okay.
So I had a South American experience then.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And it's just, like, we've encouraged our kids to, like, just get out of North America.
Yeah.
And like, Europe's fine, but like, really, like, it's so good to go to like I would love to go to Asia.
Yeah.
But like South America, like, I love South America.
Yeah.
Like, it just really kind of like,
it just opens your mind. You just kind of realize
and pushes back on your reality.
Oh, a million percent. I would, for traveling, for me, I haven't traveled a lot. We did go to Asia, Southeast Asia last year. Vietnam and then Thailand, but it was just so nice to just be connected to another part of the world, see how people are living, how kind everybody is, and just, we're all on the same planet. And you just get a bigger perspective. And then you come back here and you find you're not honking your horn as much in traffic. I had a really funny story. Being in Vietnam, there are tons of scooters everywhere and they just fly around. There's thousands of them. Yeah. And you hear them honking, but it's all about, hey, I'm here. Yeah. Hey, I'm over here. It's just to let people know. It was fascinating. I get here so we get back home. The next day, I'm going up the main street here in Chilliwack. It's called Vetter, and it's right by I forget, Vetter and Knight Road. And I just put my clicker on to take a left turn, and I just get this honking and get out of my way. I'm like, he was way back there. Anyways, I was just like, oh, this is just a different world. Anyways, I digress. But that is just sort of had that perspective. Yeah, nobody really is angrily. There's no angry honks there.
One of the best things the organization I went with did, and I hated it at the time. Like, they were smart, so you kind of like, we all met in Florida, and then they went all around the world from there. And it was just kind of like, that part was good, but you had to come back to Florida. It wasn't an option, and they forced you to go to Dairyland. I don't know why I thought it. Disneyland.
Disneyland. Okay.
Yeah.
Dairyland, Disneyland.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I was thinking about farming, and then
that's funny.
So Disney World, I think, was down there, and it was good because you're coming from, like, especially we were in Brazil in a rural area, so and it like was a huge culture shock to come back.
Yeah,
but they didn't say go to Disneyland or Disney World and like hate it. They were like, this is your culture. like this is North American culture. See like the good in it again. And so like it forced you to be like, I hate this. This is so much money. This is like all the rest of it.
Oh,
like,
just the
like the excess there
excess.
is just like crazy.
Yeah.
But it was good to be like, okay, yeah, this is your culture. Like this isn't terrible either. It's just different.
Just different.
Different.
Smart. That was smart.
Yeah, it was really smart.
Well, I think you also learn as someone coming back, like you look at how much people can live with not a lot.
Right.
Right. And you don't need, I don't know if you need the exorbitant amounts of things and all this overdoing it. It's really grounds you. That's smart.
Yeah.
That's very smart.
It was a really smart idea. And
wow.
And just to talk about it afterwards.
Good for them.
And I thought that was great.
And how old were you at that time?
Graduated, so 18, 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially at that age, because those are core memories, right? Those stick with you, those teenage years and whatnot.
Yeah.
So to have that experience that young,
yeah.
I bet you it's sort of set the path. Did you take that learning and kind of looking back now today, sort of go, that really set a course for me, or a path for me, or just an understanding or a grounding?
Yeah, it probably would be a process. Like just like it set how just to challenge your world.
Yeah.
Challenge your view. Like that's one thing about dairy farming, especially. Like it's changing a little bit, but growing up, like it's quite, even though you're in like a community or whatever, like you're spending all your time working, especially the first years, like smaller farm, working by yourself.
Yeah.
You make your own rules. You're the boss. You're very isolated, and you create your own world, basically, and you control it. Mm-hmm. And like I've seen some farmers like kind of like get stuck in that, and so like they don't like challenges to their world.
Yeah.
And they don't like what they say is law.
It makes sense, though, because you're right. You build up your own sort of compound in your brain or your mind or your property, and like this works.
Yeah, and then like it's good just to challenge that and break it. So that was great.
I agree too, especially nowadays with just the technology and the people and just the growth of the planet. It's like, I mean, I find now at this age that I'm at, and with the whole the technology advances, it's like I am being challenged, and we're going to get into your progression right now, which I'm fascinated by, because you mentioned something. Sorry, let me finish my thought here. With this whole new technology boom we're dealing with AI and whatnot, it's just, I'm being challenged nonstop, especially what I do for a living, for the technology and camera and video and what is it and how is it changing. It is absolutely terrifying, and it's absolutely exciting to get into it. So for anyone now to be too stuck, oh boy, it's we're in this sort of, I think we're in this huge transition of, I don't know what it is, but it's a whole new way that we're going to be living, especially with AI. I mean, the things I'm doing with video now and how it's just making work different. Yeah. We are at, I mean, the creativity is just there. There's no excuses anymore. Yeah. You have a full-time assistant that knows everything that's ever been known at your side. Yeah. So work with it, and you can kind of get into it. But there's a fine balance there too. You can't, anyways.
But, okay, no.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
No, like, so, like, I kind of view technology great. Like, it's going to push us in a lot of ways, but we're talking about expanding our worlds. And I see, like, it could go two ways.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Please,
like, that's the siloing part of it really worries me.
Yeah.
Like, just because, like, farming, we're talking about being, like, that was, like, original silo. Like, I grew up, like, it's kind of was, like.
That's where the term probably comes from, silo.
Maybe. No, silo is a tall building that is like enclosed.
Yeah. Oh, but it's not the farm. I just remember the grain was in the silo.
It is like it is from that. But like, who knows why that's interesting. Anyways, yeah, like we get it's neat to see the different media that like, so for my kids, for example, like we will talk about this.
Yeah.
Like we'll compare media feeds because it's funny, like my YouTube feed
is
so different than my kids. And then like they each have their different things, and like they'll steal my YouTube sometimes because I have ad free because I can pay for it.
Yeah.
And they're like, holy cow, like you're wrecking my algorithm.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to see
yeah.
because we're being fed, like, sure, AI is great. It will expand our world, but it also like really shrinks it because
Yes.
it feeds us what we want
Yes.
or what makes us mad.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Probably more mad than what we want.
Yeah.
And that part is so like, it is isolating, and it is
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
it just pushes like ideas. And yeah, like that's one thing I really worry about. That
I think that's a warranted worry.
Yeah.
I do as
Yeah.
well, because I come from a generation where I didn't have internet. I didn't have, like, we just played and we had those experiences. That's never going to happen again. So there's never going to be a generation where it's like you just get out and explore and get your fingernails dirty and you're just going there, and we get ourselves zapped into this micro world on a screen, and literally it's just pixels. It's not real life, right? And that's where it becomes a little bit too. Yeah, it's an interesting topic. I don't want to get too deep, because I don't know much about it. I could talk about anything. I have no. I want to learn as much as I can. I just don't have much knowledge on it. I know for AI, for me, right now, and I'm really using it as, I use Claude quite a bit. So I use it as just a to help with sort of the large scale projects, to get all the ideas down, to give me sort of a checklist or a bullet point or some documents that I can kind of sit down with. Like, for example, for this podcast, I get your answers. I send out a questionnaire, and then I use this into Claude, and I kind of say, okay, based on these answers, let's formulate a sort of conversation flow that we can sort of stick to as we go. Because my ADHD sometimes, I mean, this could be a 3-hour podcast, and people listening to it probably think, well, I have no idea what they were just talking about. So it really helps me structure the conversation. So it's helped me do that. I think you're absolutely correct with the algorithm. And it's, everybody's reality is different, and that's what gets kind of weird.
It is very weird.
Yeah. Well, to technology, is there any? I mean, I know you're not in dairy farming right now, but were you part of were you seeing technologies coming into dairy farming before and after?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, it changed the game a lot. Like when I took over farming from my dad, like it's a huge shift. Like it just kind of went from not really using data to like everything is about data.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, it just really shifted. Like we like it's hard to, like, because there's a lot that goes into it. But like, for example, like we started with computer feeding, like, which is just grain done by a computer. The cows have a chip on their necks, and then they just, when they go in, you're told how much grain they get. But as soon as you have any data points, it's something that you can analyze. Yeah. So like, how many times does this cow go in? And so like that was back probably in the early 90s, mid 90s, probably, because we had that in before I took over. So that was like maybe even late 80s. And it's just been like, just like any other technology now, like it's just exploded.
But that had been a huge investment, though, to go from.
Yeah, no, but
it
like,
did it make sense to do it though?
it all like, so like I said, like there's not big margins in farming. It's all about debt servicing. And so as long as you can service that debt, that's why like some farmers have lots of nice trucks and tractors, and because we can service that debt. But it's not really like,
okay, that makes sense.
Like the assets are so big because the land is worth so much.
Yeah.
Like a new truck on the debt of that land is nothing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you're servicing the debt and some of the equipment too. These are these are Maseratis. Like the farm equipment's like millions of dollars worth.
Yeah, my tractor's worth way, like, just about my house.
yeah, that's insane. Yeah. It's one thing we don't realize. Like I look at sports cars and everyone like, oh, that's great, but it's like, just go to a farm.
Yeah,
check out those machines. Those are multi-million-dollar monsters.
Yeah,
like anyways.
and so like technology, like in all those, like as soon as you have data to work with.
Yes. Okay.
You can really do things. So like I had like, mine was considered a low tech farm because I had like the milking side of it. I never upgraded because of the expense.
Yeah.
So I was still working with like 1970s technology.
Yeah. Would that be robotics and things
No,
like that?
like
Okay.
so mine was just like it had automatic takeoffs, but really, really low tech.
Okay.
Like so like it would just sense whether milk was coming through or not.
Okay.
Whereas like robots, like there's I think it's over 60 or 70% now are robot farms.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because like they're great. But there is like they've been in working enough that now like there's cost with that.
Yeah.
But like on the technological side, it's huge. It's just getting better and better. Like, and it's the data that you
Well, I
can
imagine
work
AI
with.
is plugging into that data now, isn't it? Somehow?
Yeah, so they've already have like, so I still read up on farming stuff, but they already have like compared farms. Like Canada's considered a small market still because we just supply milk for Canada, which is like 1 or 2% of the world, the market for dairy. But like the States, they have huge farms. And they've been running some trials there because it's bigger, you can see better. And an algorithm or AI or however you want to phrase that can make choices better than a human.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they take the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
And they can actually make choices on like whether you keep a cow or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Faster and better. So like it is interesting because we like to think, oh, I can look at a cow and be like, oh, my years of experience, that cow's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But
well, with the amount of data you're getting from cows, right?
Yeah. So like, like there's tons, like some farms will have like step meters, temperatures. They have rumen monitors. So how much they ruminate. They have their heat cycles,
and they're observing them at all times. Like this data is constant.
Yeah, it's 24/7.
Oh yeah, I mean it's hard for a human to.
And then milking too.
Yeah.
Right. So then they have their milk production, and then they have somatic cell counts in the milk, and
wow,
like tons. Like you can go on and on. They have like you can through milk sampling you can check whether they're like their fat levels, it's just on and on.
Unbelievable.
Depends how much you want to spend to get that data and how much it's worth to you.
How much the data is worth to you.
Yeah. So
do you with all this cool tech, do you want to go back to dairy farming now?
Well, no, that was one of the choices. Like, so when I made that shift, one of the things, like I was at the point, my farm was at the point where, okay, either I have to reinvest and then that's a end of career decision then. Like for me, like then if I'm going to reinvest, basically you have to say another 15, 20 years. Right. So then sure. Like I love tech. And that's one thing I loved about farming is like the constant, like getting better.
Yeah.
Like the constant challenges. Like I love that part about farming. And so, that was the decision I had to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like if your grandpa like had this type of technology, what a difference, say, from farming, like just the hard labor to like, well, no, I can sit in the tractor and watch some Netflix and
it's
GPS
funny. Yeah. My
around.
tractors are GPS and it's not quite like people have this vision of GPS where it just runs its own and it's fine. It's true. But like if anything goes wrong, like I can throw just about anyone in a tractor and they can drive it.
Yeah.
But as soon as something doesn't work, I have the phone call and I know my tractor. I know where everything is and I can just talk them through it. I can explain what's going on. But like it is cool when it all works.
Did you have any drones? Did you guys use any drones on the site? Okay.
That was like, I would love to use drones.
Yeah. I'm seeing the new drone technology come out for agriculture and these things.
It's amazing.
I saw one, I think there was flooding in Vietnam last year. Yeah. Severe flooding. And they're using, the farmers are using drones to get people. They're having kids hang on to the drones and they're like flying them across the river.
Serious?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Because they're just taking all the agriculture or if they're spraying or if they're fertilizing. But these things are, giant batteries go in and you're just flying people around. Like, what amazing.
Yeah, it is
So
amazing.
I think,
yeah.
if I was in farming, I'd go all in on the drones. I wouldn't grow anything. I'd just fly drones. No, I just fly drones.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that is a huge decision, because you're right. If I'm going to invest in this tech, like, you've got to stick around and manage this. It's not like you can invest and then, okay, no, I'm good, I'm out. So at least you had the foresight to really, this is a long-term investment. This is, there's no quick gains here when it comes to this. So how was that then? You were in the farm for, you said 28 years?
Yeah.
What was it like to sort of come to the decision where, okay, maybe this isn't going to be for me for another 15 years? Was this something that you always had the back of your mind, like, after 28 years, I'm going to see where I'm at?
No.
Or was it like, okay, take me through that process, decision making?
So the first, probably like me and my wife talked about it, like, whether this is something we do. Like, you just kind of do that. Like, you just kind of say, oh, is this what we're going to do for the rest of our life or whatever? And so we had those conversations on and off, because there are great benefits to farming.
Absolutely.
But there's also like to get away, like, it's so hard to get away.
I was going to ask you about that.
Like,
yeah.
it's just about
2-week vacations probably aren't really possible.
Like I did a few, like, this is what I learned from my parents, was like, they carved out those times, whether they cost them like huge amounts or not. And like, I have a couple holidays that we took with our kids when they were younger, and are like week and a half or so. And I lost so much money.
Oh, wow.
The farm, because one, like, you don't count your wage, like as a farmer, you don't count your wages, but then I had to pay someone. So then I'm like double paying.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, there was one, we made the choice on purpose to go out of cell range, because I didn't want to be phoned and have to be worried about it. So we like doing camping, like a little bit rougher camping. So we go out to places that had no cell service, and as you come back into cell service,
oh, Duane,
it was just like, I was like, okay, that costs $1,000. Oh, there's another $1,000. That will be hard to make up.
That is the most difficult, stress-free. Even when you're not in cell range, you're still like,
no. You had to, like, I had to be able to turn it off.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't enjoy it. And that was really taught. Like, my dad was really good at that. Like, he would be like, okay, no, we're on holidays.
Good for him.
Yeah, we're gonna ignore what happens, and we'll put out the fires when we get back. And and so, like, we had those, like, that's a big negative to farming, is getting away.
Yeah.
But so we had those conversations of what to do. More, it was like, I started asking myself a question, along with like other people. Like, I have a really, really, really good friend group that, like, we can have great conversations with, and like challenge each other.
Oh, good for you.
And like just really like
play devil's advocate and sort of go, here's this,
like,
and that just give you the advice to.
I just like figuring out who you are, and like what's important, and like those things are
good for you.
Yeah, are great, right?
Yeah,
and it kind of like, so then if you kind of have that culture around you can ask yourself, so like my life's gonna end. We pretend it. We kind of have this duality happening where I'm never gonna die, but I'm getting older.
Yeah, as you get older, you realize, I only got 20 years left. What the heck?
Right. Yeah, and like what you want to do, and like like just looking at it realistically, thinking, okay, I really love farming.
Yeah,
and I still really love farming, and I love lots. Like, I love working with animals. I love lots of what happened on the farm. But would I, whenever I choose to quit, would I be disappointed that I didn't try something new, or would I regret that choice? And like, thinking about it for a bit, like, I'm someone who, my wife always makes fun of me, so I will maybe like think about stuff, have it percolate for a bit, but once I decide, it's done. So like, so that was percolating for a while, and then I was like, I think I would regret it. And then it was like, okay, I'm done.
When did you have that? Well, obviously
So
it sits with you for a while. Yeah, it's not hard to just wake up and go, oh, I ain't farming no more. It's more, it
well,
sort of sits and
it sits up percolating, but once the decision was made, yeah, I think I would regret
Isn't it funny how I don't know what it is in your body or your brain that sort of, but I think, were you like comfortable when you made that decision? Just like, okay, this is the right decision, or what, you know what I mean?
So,
Like, there's always uncertainty. Go ahead, Duane. Yeah.
No, it's
Open up
funny.
a can of worms here. Keep going.
No. So ever since that decision, so comfort, no, it
Okay.
hasn't been comfortable at all.
Yeah.
Like regret, no, absolutely no regret. So those two things I think are separate of each other. Like I've been challenged in ways that like I can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
Or like I'm just like, what the heck am I
Yeah.
doing? Are we about to swear on this?
Oh yeah, you can
Okay.
say it. Actually,
What
I had
the
a clip.
fuck am I doing?
Sorry, I stepped on. You can say it again, Duane. Go ahead.
No. It's just
He said the F word for
Yeah,
people
I
if you
did.
didn't hear it. It's
My
like,
kids.
I had a
No.
clip. No, you're good. You're good. I had a clip for a buddy of mine, Matt Young, was on the podcast, and that's the one that got him most views. He said the
Yeah.
F word.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We can swear on this.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just like that decision was I knew it would challenge me. I didn't know what that meant at the time. Because I never had experience in it. I never had done post-secondary schooling. I never had stepped really far outside of that farming world. Like we did in some ways just because of the friend group I was in.
Yeah.
Like, so like, Matt and
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
so a lot of different
right on.
a
Okay.
lot of different fields.
Oh, Matt's great, man.
Yeah,
Good for
and-
okay. Yeah.
And so like tons of really good conversations with him, and then my other friends too, right? Like, so like just like it was a great group to sit in and be like, okay, yeah, this is like challenge each other and way of thinking. But when you make that decision to move out, like, oh man, no, like
Yeah.
I'm going to university. Like it's like I'm older than most of the profs.
Duane, good for you, man.
Like
That's but what? But you're right. But you know
No.
you have that moment where you're not going to regret it because you're in it. I mean, it brings me there's so much here. Okay,
Yeah.
let me just collect my thoughts here, buddy. I gotta, because you do say something here that is really cool, and what you're most maybe it's time to say that. Let me just look at my notes here.
Yeah,
I've got
okay.
some things here. You do say yeah, your next chapter is growth. I did ask you that question. You felt you're thankful for being vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah, because like I could have stayed in the farming gig and just kind of like stuck with it. I was comfortable, I was competent with it, and I knew I could run a good farm. I'd done it for 28 years, and that would have been fine. And it would have been enjoyable too. Like it wasn't even like I wasn't enjoying it. But like stepping out of that it was so like vulnerable. Like one, like schooling was never my thing. Like I struggle with English.
Yeah.
Like it's funny how you get diagnosed by your kids. Like they're like, yeah, you're dyslexic. I was wondering why numbers were always hard for me. Like
Oh my
I would write
goodness.
down numbers, like count numbers all wrong, like all the time. Like I did it all the time,
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
Like so, like a little bit, like and like they're like, Dad, you're ADHD. I'm like, no, I'm not. And yeah, like and so like,
And they're not being malicious about it. They're actually
No.
trying to be sincere. Like, Dad, no, seriously, we're
No,
not
no,
trying to
like,
hurt your feelings here.
Yeah, no,
But
no, like and so like, yeah, going to school, like that was one of. So like once I decided, I like had to do upgrading, of course, because I'd never gone.
Yeah.
And the prof there was amazing. Like she helped me out so much. So you have to take upgrading with English. I'm
Yeah.
like, crap. Like this is terrible. Like so, but you aren't allowed to use any tech. Everything's handwritten in this stupid course.
Oh,
So you
wow.
can't cheat spelling. I can't spell anything.
Yeah, spell check is my friend.
Like
It's
when I
in my
write
boat, yeah.
papers now, my phone is there and I'm writing on the computer and I just say like, how do you spell this?
Yeah.
All the time. I'm using, but so you can't you have to write everything.
Duane, you are vulnerable, dude.
And
you
then,
are putting yourself out. Good
and
for
then
you.
like, but the professor was amazing because she was like, this is your most important class because either you get this course and you can go into university or you fail it. And then she's like, I know how that's going to make you feel. And she was actually retired professor. She came back just for this course. So just taught this course. And she was really good. I hated it. And I was like so mad. Like there was a point in the course, it was, we're writing this 1-page short little essay.
Yeah,
It's just, and it's all about grammar and punctuation. And so it was a in-class test because everything was in class, so you couldn't cheat. They were very good at like making sure you knew what you actually were doing. And so, so I started this, and it was like you were given this paper and you had to correct it, and put the punctuation in and grammar, and I couldn't fix the first sentence because like we all know like grammar, like there's not 100% right way or 100% wrong way. There's like 75 different ways to make that sentence right. And I got stuck in this loop.
Yeah.
And I rewrote that sentence probably like 20 times. And I just couldn't get it right. And I was sitting there and I honestly, like, it was the closest I've probably ever been to a panic attack.
Yeah, the cold sweat.
Oh, no, I was
blanking out.
Like, just, my brain was actually just going in circles. And I was just sitting there going, okay. And then I was like aware enough that I could ask myself, you can get up and walk out of the classroom and it'll be fine. Just find a job. I'm good at driving. I could do like excavation work. I could do anything, right? Like really, like I that side I'm confident with.
Yeah.
Or you can just try to like just do your best and try to figure this out. And I remember that like decision of like,
while you're at the test, while you're taking the test.
I'm there. Like I'm like I was so close. Like it was 50-50 of me just getting up and walking out. Like I was so close. I was like either I'm gonna have am I having a heart attack? I'm like sitting there like completely stressed out. And like I just remember thinking, okay, worst thing that can happen is I fail. And then so I was like, okay, and then it was fine. Pass the course.
Wow.
And then, but like that was like definitely a line there for me where I was like, very close.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Duane.
Yeah.
So this podcast is about career journeys and those moments. That is a
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Like
that's a nail.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So good for you for getting through that. I had an exam way back in the day, and I remember looking at the first page going, I know nothing, and have that loop. I don't know how I got through it.
Yeah.
But you just start writing, I guess, and you just sort of go, yeah, what's the worst that can happen? You're not going to die. You just have to get through it. And honestly, if you walked out, you probably would regret that. There's a regret.
Yeah. I kind of probably in the back, but like really, like it was. I think it was a panic attack.
Yeah. Internally, you're kind of like, you play, your brain's like, oh, you had this back and forth sort of struggle. Yeah. Oh my goodness. While you're taking the exam and the time is ticking as well.
And when I say exam, looking back now, I'm like, so I've done 2 years of university after that. And I'm like, oh man, like that was so easy. Like, why was I worried?
Well, no, it's at the time it's big.
Yeah.
So that's fascinating that you've actually decided to put yourself out there, be vulnerable. You look super young. I'm not going to ask your age, but
I'm 50.
51
this
dude,
year.
you look 30.
Thanks,
so it's like, okay, anyways, to get into university at that age though, I think that's super inspiring, right? I personally, I just have to, the time to allocate to university. I do a lot of online learning and sort of balance it that way. But I think in this day and age, and I think you're probably well aware as well, that you have to keep learning and just keep growing and professional development. It never stops. And so for anyone who's young listening to this, once I'm seeing a lot of people graduate from UBC and all the universities and U of A and all the caps in the air. And I just, I'm really excited, but I remember that time for me, I was like, I was nervous. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do next now. Right. So, it never ends, people. Whoever just graduated, super congratulations. That's great. You got that, but keep learning.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not done. At all.
And whatever form that takes, like for me, like that was, like with farming, like a constant learning. constant pushing. Yeah. And then like now, like university has really opened up my world a lot. Like it really has. Like just because the way the social work program works is like it's third year entry.
Yeah.
So you don't actually start, like you do a little bit of, like every semester I have a social work little piece to it. But like you do all your choices before that, like your electives.
Yeah. Well, Duane, let's back up a little bit on this. No, never apologize. So social work. So now that you're in, we're going to come back to this. What made you decide, like from farming and you're studying social work now and where you're working at, what brought on this decision and how did you come to this decision to be so helpful and really want to help people? And go ahead. I'm fascinated.
Like part of, like there's aspects of farming that I really enjoyed. I kind of fell into like I could hire someone after, I think I worked about 5 years on my own on the farm, and then got to the point where I was like burning out, basically burning out. And I was like, okay, I need to hire someone. So it started with, I hired a kid in grade 8. Looking back, I'm like, I hired a kid in grade 8. Like, how crazy is that? Anyways, but like you're working really closely with these people. Yeah. And like, so you kind of get to know them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. It's a really unique working situation.
Especially with farming,
like you're working with them tons. So then as that went along, like I ended up hiring a few people who like had I don't even know. There's one guy I hired like he came on my yard. He's a recovering addict. Yeah. And just kind of like worked with him and just helped him like work through his stuff, right? Yeah. Like, and it worked out great. And then he recommended someone to work for me, and then she like struggled with depression. Yeah. So like, and then it just kind of like worked on like the last guy, he just really like struggled with things, and like just I found it really interesting. It was another problem for me to solve. Yeah. Or kind of work with. It's just try to have them be successful in the job, and like just like tailoring it to like figure out how to have them succeed, build confidence in them. The last guy I had, like he was in his mid-30s. Yeah. And had only held a job for never held a job for more than a month. Okay. So just kind of like really like, okay, how do we work together to make this work for you? And just kind of like building structures to have them succeed. And I was fascinated by that. Wow. And so
that's not a normal, like, well, not in a bad way, but just really understanding. I think more CEOs need to listen to this podcast. I'm not kidding either. Like to really understand who you're working with and how it's going to work for them and so they can succeed.
And that was with my friend group that really helped. Like, so there was at the time, like, I'm not hanging out with him right now. Like he moved away, but like he was involved in HR, and I was fascinated by that. Yeah. So in the discussions, his big thing was like figuring out how to get people to succeed, and a lot of that is building confidence. Yeah. And how do you do that? And then the circumstances, I had a nephew that worked for me for a bit, and we came to an agreement that like he would work for me for a year. He was not allowed to quit, but I was not allowed to fire him. Okay. And that was kind of like I don't know if that's legal or
no. It's family. It's family. It's family. Family's a different rules. But okay, keep going.
But so like just kind of like that was another one like where we both knew that we needed to commit for a year to each other to figure this out, and it was to help him, and like, sure, like give me a person to work with. Yeah. But like just stuff like that, like just figuring out what would work for people. And like he will never want to work on a farm. Yeah. And we knew that right from the start. But it developed, like he built some confidence in things. Absolutely. And he also was able to stick it out. Like, because physically, I of course couldn't force him to show up, but he did. Yeah. He made it a year, and that was it.
But so he committed to it. But he's like, Duane, I love you. So this is my final day.
I don't know if he would have said that at the end.
Yeah, for sure.
But now, yeah. But like, yeah. So like those things fascinated me. Unbelievable. So I was trying to think of a field, because when I decided I wanted to try something new. I wasn't sure what I wanted to try.
So you made the decision. You're still farming, but you're
Yeah.
kind of figuring it out as you went. Good for you. You're still exploring.
Yeah.
What to do, and then you
Yeah.
realize is working with people. That's fascinating.
Yeah, working with people is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Is like working with people, and then I was like, oh, social work would probably be a good field. And my daughter was in it at the time, and so chatting with her, she was like, oh yeah, probably work.
That is fantastic.
Yeah,
especially with the farm. I don't know if you work. Do you work with a lot of people on the farm, or you can you be isolated sometimes?
No, you're like my size farm was isolating.
Okay.
Because most of the time you're milking.
Yeah.
Like, so that was mainly what I hired people for.
Yeah.
So when they're milking, you didn't have to have them there. And I didn't want to, like, they're milking in the middle of the night, mainly doing night shift.
Yeah.
So I did that a lot, but I don't need to be there.
But you're opening yourself up. You're on the farm and you're opening yourself like, hey, what's going to come to me? What's going to be? And then finally you're understanding. Were you consciously thinking, hey, this was a good day to, like, I should consider the social work or working with people? Like, how many conversations did you have before you decided, okay, school time, we're going?
Well, I decided school right away.
Oh, because you had to get upgrades regardless.
Yeah, I had to do upgrades.
Okay.
And so just went in and basically, I had to make a decision of what to try for. And like, I'm like, oh, like after a few conversations, just, that sounds good. I'll try that. And if I don't like it, I could switch.
So when you were in school, you were kind of opening up your mind to explore, see what's
yeah.
there.
So I went and talked to a counselor.
Okay.
Too about that, and they're like, yeah, it should work with what you want, and then you can change if you need to.
Wow. Yeah, I guess you can always change. You're never too, you're not done. You can, I mean, at your age right now, you're changing.
Yeah.
So how's it been so far with what are you enjoying most? Is there anything now that you're in school with what you're studying that has surprised you?
Oh, there's been
take your time. Take your time. This is not we're not on the clock.
So there's been a few times where I'm like, oh, what the fuck again? Like, definitely, like, just like, seriously, like, I took a anthropology 111 course. Amazing prof. Just learning lots about First Nations.
Yeah.
And like kind of knowing about it, but also kind of like missing that education that my kids have got. Like, because when we were in school, like, it was not talked about.
Yeah.
Like,
even
my history class, like, really, they didn't like. But like, so learning lots. But the part that I'm like, I can't believe I did this. Like, so there was a project. The end project was like, okay, we had to do a presentation, and she was very much like, you had to select, like, whether you're going to do a traditional essay or do some other presentation.
Yeah.
And
like an interpretive dance or something?
Like,
oh, really?
So yes.
Okay.
So Atlee's like,
I'll be quiet. Okay. Go,
no.
Duane.
So instantly, like, this thing popped into my head, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And it was like using art to, like, painting and do it as you're telling a story. Use it to demonstrate what you're doing. And so, like, the book we had to cover was this book.
Wow.
And I'm just like, like, I'm not an artist. I'm not a painter. And I knew it didn't have to be professional. It just has to be able to tell a story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, I'm like, what the heck? Like if like I always pictured in my mind that would be kind of funny is to have my farming buddies.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Come hang out in the room as, like, I'm trying to, like, not be crying as I'm talking about this, like, First Nations, like, book that we covered was about a story. I forget the name of the book. I should remember, but it's the Sumas band.
Yeah.
Like, it was a story about that band and them going to residential school.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, like, like, I painted this tree and then covered it up with black, like, kind of like
incredible.
As a residential
good for
school.
you.
And like, it was great. Like, it was so good for me. And like that kind of stuff, like, I'm still surprised, like, that I do it and I push myself to do it. And it's just been so good that way.
Wow. Yeah. Duane, you really just embraced this change and opening up and having an idea and going for it.
Yeah, and like regretting those decisions, like this podcast, like half an hour beforehand,
well,
I was like, crap, why did I say yes to
Yeah,
this?
I know. Why did you say no? I know why you said yes. This is fantastic. This is. I also think too. You know, for your kids, they're gonna have this. I hope they sit down and listen to this, but they'll always have this. I mean, this will be out in the world for like years and years and years, and they can have a copy of it and go, "Oh, there's Dad. He's talking." Right. That's what I kind of think. I'm like, oh, kind of neat little archive for people. I don't tell people, hey, come on the show. It'll be an archive for your kids. But I always think like, hey, that's kind of neat because you know, as you grow things and your art that you did, that's something as well that could be left to your kids and they can see.
No,
you didn't.
Okay. No, I
that was for you. Fair enough.
No, they all saw it. They all like it. Like,
good for you though, man.
Like they're really supportive.
Yeah,
and
100%.
I've learned a lot from my family.
Yeah.
They're just like, I think it's like a bit of both. So I think I can say that like, yeah, they're proud of me for doing this, and like
incredible,
they think it's also like weird to have your dad. Like I'm in university with my youngest right now. And I see him sometimes, and they will acknowledge me, which is great. It's so weird going to UFE and be like, oh, yeah, I know that kid. Like, do I say hi? Like they're my friend's kids.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
but you're the parent though, so are you cool? Like, is it?
I'm definitely not cool.
Well, no, I think you are. I think I you know what, Duane? I bet you are. I bet you.
Thanks, Atlee. But
yeah, no, 100%. It was interesting when I went to university. I graduated in Kamloops. I came to UBC. It was about 93, 94. But my mom went back to school at 93. When I graduated, she went back to, it was it's True right now, Thompson Rivers.
Oh yeah.
And she was in all the classes with all my friends.
Thank you for listening to
just was with class with, and like, Atlee, your mom's in here, she's awesome, and she's like, she loves math, she's just a math grade. But it was like, and they were like, kind of saw like, yeah, no, your mom's cool. It's like, oh yeah, she's not my mom, she's my mom, but she's like, she's seen different through other eyes, and it's kind of like they were really impressed that someone that age is going back to school. I think she was in her 40s at the time, which isn't that old at all. But the fact that you go, it is inspiring for other. Maybe your kids don't feel that way, but well, I'm sure they do. But the kids' friends, I think it's pretty cool. I think they think it's cool. Let's just pretend they think it's cool. I think it is.
I did take coaching for my kids. So I asked them, so like, how do I behave in class? Well, they were basically said, don't do this. Don't be the guy who like monopolizes the time. Yeah. And like just kind of sit and just keep your mouth shut. I'm like, perfect. I'll sit and keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. Don't ask all the questions.
And don't know the answers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't try to connect with the prof because they're your peer. No. So no, that was great advice.
I'm applauding right now. That's fantastic.
It's great advice just to sit there and keep your mouth shut. Which is, a lot of it, like, because like a lot of me learning, like the privilege I have being like a farmer, being like wealthy. Yeah. Like now, like you can say I'm wealthy. Yeah. And then
you've worked for it, and you kind of built the farm, and you kind of
But you say that like we've been able to build up generational wealth here, and like comparing it to like places that don't have that, or even First Nations who haven't had that, right? Yeah. Like just shut up, move to the back, and just kind of like observe what's going on. Like it's been so good for me. Yeah. Yeah.
But the fact that you're not just sitting on it, you want to explore and help other people. Yeah, Duane, dude, like I'm so proud of you, man. Yeah, that's really, really cool. So with school right now, are you figuring out more things right now? You're in second year right now. Have you been started working with social work now? Can you?
No. So what happened there was like, I don't want to slight any UFE counselors.
No, not at all.
We're
not naming anybody.
No,
we can bleep it out.
I think it was of course, it's partially my fault from not like. Asking enough questions, but they had said, okay, 4 classes a term would be enough to get me ready. And this fall, I should have been entering the social work program because third year entry. Yeah. Ended up, long story, couldn't quite get the credits. Oh, like maybe I could have pushed really hard and forced my way into the program. But I kind of thought, like, I don't really have any experience in social work, so I just kind of asked around what would be good. So then recommended group homes were a great place.
Yeah, for volunteering. For volunteering? Or
no, for work.
For work.
Okay. Like just like just kind of get a feeling of what's actually going on. Because when you're social working, you might be working with group homes or working with individuals that are being placed in group homes, but you don't really know what those are like until you've worked in them.
Yeah.
So then that was September of last year.
Okay.
I kind of like started doing that. So then I had to do another thing, and I had never applied for a job.
Oh my goodness, Duane,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah, you know, yeah. So like some of these things that everyone does.
Resume.
Yeah.
Put on.
And like you could imagine what my resume looked like. It was a farmer for 28 years, and then the question mark, like what the heck, like why, like so. Like, there's so many funny things with that.
Oh my
like,
God. Yeah, yeah,
like,
go.
Like,
That's awesome.
trying to fill out my resume was one. I was like, I don't know. Like, volunteer stuff, yeah. I've, like, coached soccer for, like, 10, 15 years, like, a long time. I've done, like, work with our church, like, volunteered with different programs in town. So that was fine.
Yeah.
But, like, when it comes to, like, the question from, like, potential employers were, like, what?
Yeah.
Like why are you even applying?
Which is a great thing though, because it brings attention. It's like, I got to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
what? Like I'm doing right now.
I got zero applies from my resume, probably because like I for a month put in the resumes, nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and like most of it's done online. So like, and I was like, okay, I got to try something new. So I went in person to a couple places, and a couple places were like, no, you do that online. I'm like, well, I did online already. And they're like, okay, well then wait.
Okay.
Like, well, okay, whatever. I talked to a couple people who were there at the offices, and like, they were really helpful. They basically said, why are you doing this? So we chatted a bit, and they're like, that's great. We'll never hire you. And because they said the only people we hire are kind of like students that come through, and they step right into the hiring program.
I see.
And so she's like, it's going to be really tough for you to get a job the way you're trying to get it. Because I had zero, like I had 42 credits, university credits, but no program to back it. Because it's all like I'm not in the program.
I see. Okay.
I have a lot of interesting courses I took, like communications, like social work programs and stuff. So I had a lot of the education, but it wasn't in
the program.
In the program. So they're basically general studies, and you're applying for this job. So I was losing hope on the job front. But then I applied for at Communitas, and then my sister-in-law works there, and like she's a manager at one of the homes, and she's like, you applied? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, why didn't you say anything to me? So she like went off and like told them to interview me at least. And so so my first interview, like everything's like first for me when it comes to jobs.
Wow.
And so so that was great. It was good, really good interview, and they hired me really quickly, which was nice.
Yeah.
And then I had the pressure of letting my sister-in-law down. So I was like, okay, don't let her down. Like,
you get a little pressure here.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure. So I've been there for about 3.5 months.
Okay.
And it's been good. It's been really good. It's, again, like a lot of the stuff I said I would never do, like personal care.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I won't do that. But I'm doing personal care now.
I mean, that's amazing.
And it's been really good, really eye-opening.
I think, can you look back now and say like, you're on the right career path or the right journey, human journey, you feel like giving back to people? I mean, you still have more life to go. I mean,
thanks, man.
Oh, we do. I play squash with you. You're a good guy, and you're staying fit.
So I was thinking about this because I knew you like your program's about career choices and stuff. And I'm thinking about my career choices, and like I never viewed put any stock in career really.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And like
titles and that whole sort of thing, maybe?
Like, or even like even farming, like I could care less whether I was like like, to be honest with you, like the money side of it, I'm terrible at.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't drive me at all. Like, sure, I like money. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Well, we need it to do.
yeah, and I like to be not stressed about it.
Yeah.
Like, all that stuff's great. But like, I love like experiences.
Yeah.
I love
community, friends. Yeah.
Yeah, friends. And then like on a job thing, I love just getting better at it, and I love trying new things. And so like when you say like career path, like I'm like, as long as I can like keep learning and stuff, and that's been reinforced. I probably couldn't say that earlier on what was driving me.
Yeah.
But I think now it's that constant learning.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think the ability to, and have all these tools at your fingertips to learn and to communicate with people and you know, and also express your own internal communication, like through things. And I think that me as well, I know I do say career journey. It really is a life journey because I mean, our decisions we make, it's all about us and how it affects our family and our friends and things. So, I mean, as a young person, yeah, sure, you go, I'm going to be a manager. I'm going to be a blank. Yes, it's good when you're young, but I think as you get older, maybe you kind of put things in perspective. What's really important, you know, your family, your relationships, and what you do doesn't necessarily define you. And I think that's a difference. You could work at McDonald's. Doesn't matter to me, or Wendy's. If you are you, and it doesn't matter what your title or career is. I kind of hide under the career path. It just sort of gets this conversation going. But sure. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm the same too. Like I don't even know what I do. Like for my personally, I do, you know, when I, you know, I do some video stuff, I do some production. I don't have a title. I mean, I think in the digital community, if I'm in a corporate world, I'm a digital communications expert, I guess, but I don't even know what that means. Yeah. Right. But so looking back, Duane, no, we're doing pretty good. We're almost at our time here.
Okay.
How have you liked it so far? Do you regret coming here?
No.
Good. Looking back, like what do you think you would tell your younger self? Because you did mention like now you're in a vulnerable position and you have I've had those 3 a.m. wake ups and you're like, oh, really? And you don't go back to bed till just the anxieties of uncertainty, the future. What would you tell your younger self or your last week's self? Any advice from what you've learned and what you've been going through so far?
So like, I cheated. I listened to some of the podcasts before, so I knew this question was coming. Dude, I'm ready.
I love it. Yeah.
No, like I've been thinking about this lately, even just with all my transitions and stuff moving. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to really encourage myself to stay curious. It's a huge thing for me. Like, even when, like, especially when we're talking about like this is looping back to what we were talking about silos, right? Like a lot of like in my faith community, like a lot of our work has been trying to break down those silos because they're like so much of media and the way we consume it has forced us into like groups.
Absolutely.
And for me, like it's very easy to get caught up in being in a group and surrounding yourself with the same conversations
and getting the same information.
Or supporting re-supporting the way you think, right?
Yes.
So like just staying curious, like really, like there's been things in my life that has forced me out of my comfort zone, and also choices that I've chosen to be out of my comfort zone, but to keep up with that, because like if I don't, like I could just see like the world kind of like shrinking around me really quickly, right? And so just like to really encourage just to be curious would be my younger self. And it's funny because looking back when I was 19, 20, I probably was way less curious and probably was way more sure that the way I was thinking was the right way of thinking, right? Like, which is pretty normal. Yeah. Like I see my kids going through that.
Very normal.
And they're way ahead on it than I was at their age.
Yeah. I think it's that openness to just to be, you know, let your guard down, allow experiences to come to you. Don't be so rigid in sort of your, like I'm the same way as I get older. It's like, I want to understand. I find I listen a lot more now because I don't know and I want to know more. So it's hard for me to really have a concrete stance on anything.
Yeah.
As long as, I mean, not to get too sappy here, but if the intention is kindness and respect for people, I think in the end it's all pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I think that as long as that's the core of everything that you do and your curiosity and your experiences, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think for sure. But I think that's good advice for not just your younger self, but everybody is to stay curious.
Yeah.
Because wow, what a planet we live on.
Yeah.
What a place we are in this universe. Not to get too, well, now I'm going to get there.
That's fine.
It's I follow a few things on Instagram where there's Hubble's taking pictures of the universe and you're like,
it's way bigger than we think.
Okay, yeah, we're just our little problems here and there. As long as everything's bigger than you, just kind of grounds me, right?
Yeah.
When you look, and that's one thing I do miss is when I don't see the stars as often as I would like to, because that just puts things in perspective.
Yeah.
But I mean, staying curious, definitely. Duane, that's been an episode of this OverArch podcast.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this conversation. I think I would love to, when you are kind of in the field and after you graduate, I'd love to have you back on and see what the job is like, and maybe get more of a perspective of what things you maybe didn't encounter, didn't expect, and then give the audience an opportunity to get a general sense of what the job is like. Because what I'm trying to do as well as I grow this podcast is, if people can understand what a career or what a job is like and gives them some more insight, they may want to try that.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of the human journey, but it's also a bit of the specific job. I mean, we could talk all day about farming too. I think it's a fascinating profession.
It is.
You're living a great life, man.
Yeah. I know.
And I'm very glad I got to reach out to you and meet you through the squash community, and we'll see you again. Are you practicing? You're working on your game at all? Okay.
Every Wednesday.
You're watching the ball and not watching where it's going? Attaboy. I'll never forget that. Okay, thanks everybody. That was the OverArch podcast. This is Duane, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to OverArch, the People Podcast.